Hello, I'm Joe. It's quite extraordinary that while I cannot remember my baptism as a baby, my father's loving and resilient Catholic faith has prevailed as the most important compass of my life. My father John was born to a humble, hard-working Irish-Australian Catholic family on a farm near Bendigo, Victoria. He doesn't talk much, but over the years I've gently extracted some insights into his journey. In primary school, he was sports captain. In secondary, captain of the Morris Brothers AFL team, and was selected as the youngest member of the Golden Square Premiership team. He had a promising AFL trajectory. However, growing up, he was inspired by the Catholic missionary priests who visited his parish mass. He was captivated when they talked about their spirituality, humanitarian projects, and Pacific adventures in third world countries. Dad's school often raised funds for these Catholic mission projects, and his parents often bought the Far East magazine by the St. Columban missionaries, which Dad would read around the house. In his late teens, Dad felt a whisper deep inside calling him to become a lay Catholic missionary. Curiously, Dad's community had mixed feelings about this calling. Some older parishioners were very encouraging, but his mates felt he should pursue his football potential. His parents were concerned for his health and safety, preferred he settled locally, but were also humbly proud of his hands-on spirituality and would support him if he felt it was truly God's calling. Dad started to attend Mass every morning. Through Mass, he felt in deep dialogue with Christ. Christ could look deep into his soul, see all of his potential, all of his flaws. Dad felt unworthy, but he couldn't shake the feeling that while Christ knew all there is to know about him, Christ was still calling him to serve. The whisper grew louder. Jesus' words from Matthew 25:40 kept echoing in Dad's heart. "Whatsoever you do for the least of my people, you do unto me." So he decided to follow the call. He applied to Palms Australia in Sydney. Palms is a lay volunteer organisation, and Dad was invited to leave Australia and teach in the Pacific villages of Kiribati. Getting off the plane in Kiribati, Dad immediately collided with the equator's intense, humid heat. He was shocked by the contrast in living conditions across the island. Some in the urban hub enjoyed comfortable Western living standards better than his own upbringing. Some villages harmonised with the beautiful sea and natural plant life, with heavenly song, traditional dance and flowers. But some villages endured harsh material poverty. During the night, mothers could be heard wailing in grief as the infant mortality rate claimed another newborn. Dad found himself in a village teaching a class of 96 students, ranging from 14 to 22 years, with the earth as their classroom floor, no electricity, and the ocean's nearby shoreline as their toilet. Sometimes the inspiring older missionaries were too ill to teach, but Dad saw that some children were walking long distances or travelling from outer islands to attend school, so he decided the show must go on. He would literally run between multiple classes, writing on old blackboards with chalk, fielding questions, then guiding the children to study from the board as he ran to the next class. After each round, he would duck under a shady palm tree, take off his shirt, twist it in his hands to rinse all the sweat from it, then put it back on and start running between classes again. Seeing the children's radiant smiles and inquisitive eyes sparkle with each new lesson filled Dad's heart with joy. He felt a profound meaning and fulfilling purpose, which he had never experienced before. He worked during his holidays and collaborated with an American Jesuit bishop to develop a scholarship program for village children to study overseas. Dad received a written commendation from the first Indigenous Bishop of Kiribati. I didn't even discover this letter until I found it recently hidden in a shoebox in the corner of Dad's room. In one part, Bishop Paul Mayer writes, "John's sense of justice is good and great, and he will sacrifice himself in its cause, tolerating hardships." During this time, Dad became severely ill. He could have died. But thankfully, a kind Kiribati female friend named Rin took Dad to her father, Dekataba, an elder from a traditional royal lineage versed in natural medicine. Dekataba and Rin helped nurture my father back to health. Over time, Dad and Rin fell in love, and with Dekataba's blessing, they married. I was born in a village hut beside the sea. In recent times, I've been blessed to serve Christ through the St. Stephen's Cathedral Young Adults Ministry and the Young Order of Malta, and have received a full scholarship to do my PhD in film dedicated to Kiribati. In 2015, I was humbled to be recognised by the Catholic leader as the Volunteer of the Year. At the awards ceremony, I was invited to share a brief speech. I was so surprised and shocked by this award that I forgot to thank my dad during this speech. I regretted this. I still regret this. It is Dad who inspires my community service. Now I can finally say, thank you, Dad, for living and loving your Catholic faith.